Okay, we're in.
Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Yeah, I know y'all going what's Mark doing here. This still gonna be Rebecca's show, so I'm gonna sit over here and stay kind of quiet. And
Yeah.
we'll do the prayer list at the back end of the show. So
you stay quiet.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was supposed to go to work. I ain't feeling too good, so but I'm gonna sit in here with her. If y'all see me jump up and leave, you know.
All right. Well, just want to say hey to everybody that's in here. If I miss your name, I'm sorry. If I say your name twice,
I'll try to hit
again, I'm sorry. So we got Gary, we got Mark D, we got Shannon, we got Katie G, Spencer. Spencer made it in. He's probably cooking dinner. Mr. Billy. Uh-oh, what in the world? Snooze. All right. Mr. Billy, Sharon, William Robinson, Richard Jr., Old line, yep. I'm sure I skipped over somebody already.
Hillary, Patrick.
Yeah, you do this. Don Moore.
Hey, Mr. Moore.
Henry.
Hey, Mr. Henry. Mark Creel.
Little Twisted.
It's good to see everybody tonight.
Miss Debbie. Bigfoot 911. Hey, sister.
Wendell.
Sister, you leaving a path of destruction behind you.
Come over here with Daddy.
Did we say Mark Creel?
Yes, I spoke to Mark.
Yeah. Sister just interrupted everything. I was on a roll. Don't know what type of roll, but it was a roll.
I'm happy. Well, hey,
Mr. Jeffy.
Happy birthday, Jeffy.
Oh, is it his birthday today?
Yes, it was. Several other people today.
All right. Yeah. And let me see if I
Dale,
can pick stuff up off the floor. Sister's path of destruction. Hey, sister.
Hey, Miss Burton. Good to see you.
We I put a little thing on Facebook. I didn't know it was a reel, but I did a little video from Google Photos of sister from when she was a puppy.
Miss Diane.
So
Robert, Tennessee Cherokee. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Deb Bryan. Now everybody's coming in. Did we say Mr. Stanton?
Yeah, I said okay. Robert. Yeah.
All right. So if anybody wants to go on Facebook and check that out, you can see sister when she was a little puffball.
Yeah, she wasn't bigger than nothing.
So she's done a lot of growing since then.
Yep. Yeah, she's wider now.
She's a lot thicker than she used to be.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Yeah. All right, so let's talk about our book of the week this week. So this week's book is a little different than I usually do, and I have not had a chance to look at it yet. In principle, though, you said it was pretty good, right?
Yeah, they're pretty decent, yeah.
So it talks about how to smoke and salt cure different things. So smoking and salt curing cookbook for preppers. So it gives you some recipes and how to actually smoke things and salt cure them to where they'll last for a while without the need for refrigeration or canning. Now, keep in mind, this is a modern book. Okay, and by that I mean it's going by modern things. You're going to go cook and don't comment, right? And actually, I'm not going to be talking about smoking. That is going to be a show I have you to do, Mr. Spencer. But this is the book of the week because this is something that we should all learn how to do. In case the crap hits the fan and, you know, our electric canners that some of us are getting aren't working, or our electric stoves that we're canning on aren't working, and we haven't learned how to do it on gas or a fire. This is a aged knowledge. I don't know what I'm trying to say. This is a very old method of preserving foods before all of the stuff that we're accustomed to now. So anything that you need to learn how to smoke or salt cure meats and things, this is one of those things that you can use, but you can get any other book out there based off the same principle. Now, where did I get mine? Y'all aren't going to believe this. This was Temu again. Temu. Yeah. So I got some free stuff on there because I ordered something, and this was one of the items I actually picked. Now, it is readable. The writing is big enough. Is this the original version of this book? I'm not real sure if it is or not, but it's actually a decent book. So that's our book for today. Move that. Our plant for today. I went out in the yard because this is the perfect time of year for this plant. Anybody here know what this is? This and another plant go by the same name. They're related, just different.
Hey, Tammy.
Two different species, basically. This is in the Lamian family. It is a mint family, basically. This is actually henbit dead nettle versus purple dead nettle. Purple dead nettle has triangular shaped leaves and a little bit of purple tint to the leaves. This is henbit dead nettle. Same plant, two different species is all. Okay.
What if they grow in the same area?
They do.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. We have some of the purple dead nettle out in the yard, but this is the type that they call henbit. One of the ways that you can tell you have henbit or even purple dead nettle, this is, they're related, is the square stems. All of your mint family has square stems. Okay. All right. So that is henbit dead nettle. And the medicinal benefits for henbit is it helps with rheumatism because it's believed to have anti-inflammatory properties that can help relieve joint pain and stiffness. It helps with fever as a diaphoretic, promotes sweating and helps reduce fever. Helps with digestive issues because it's thought to have laxative and stimulant effects that can aid digestion. Helps with skin conditions because it's astringent and has antiseptic properties. May be beneficial for treating skin infections, cuts, and burns. It is also used as a calming and relaxing agent, which would help with anxiety and depression. Now, some people need to be careful with this because it could cause allergic reactions. What?
Katie G said her granddaughter picked her a mess of them this week.
Yeah, they're growing everywhere right now. I mean, everywhere.
Miss Diane said that. Yeah.
Yep. You can do it as a tea. You can put it in salads. You can use it as a poultice. For poultices, it says use fresh leaves and apply them to crush fresh leaves and apply them to the affected area. To make a tea, use the dried leaves, a teaspoon in a cup of boiling water for 10 minutes. I don't know how often you need to take it and stuff like that. But you can just sprinkle it on salads even. But henbit is a really cool plant to have around. And so henbit is a dead nettle, and so is purple dead nettle. And like I said, the purple dead nettle, it has a triangular shaped leaf with a little bit of purple on it. So that's your plant and book of the day today. And I'm going to set these aside.
Stacy says she done a search yesterday on that plant.
Oh, really? Yeah, it is all over the yard. And some of the places that I pulled up when I was Googling it for tonight's show, they put henbit dead nettle and purple dead nettle together. Hey, Mr. Richards, but if you Google the difference between henbit and purple dead nettle, you'll actually see that there are actual differences between the two, even though they are the same family. They have the same bloom structure even. Just that the leaves are different. Y'all hang on. We got somebody at the door.
Be back.
Arkin's sister is going to go check it out. So, yeah, henbit, purple dead nettle. Right now, there is dandelion growing everywhere. Your chicory plants are starting. Your wild lettuces are starting to come up. I've seen the thistles out in the yard already. The clovers. I have seen the little buttercup ranunculuses. All sorts of different plants that are actually coming up this time of year because we've got the cooler temperatures right now, that is actually allowing them to grow. When the heat gets here, you'll notice they all start dying back and the grasses take over. So keep that in mind. If you're one that wants to be collecting these violets and nettles and things like that, you need to be getting them now. What was it?
The two boys been here before wanting fish.
Oh, did you tell them okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't know if there's anything in
Yeah,
there.
I don't know if there is any more either. I haven't paid attention. Oh, yeah, it is spring break, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
So
it's probably started today. Yeah.
They're out fishing. Okay. All right. So, let's see.
Hey, Miss CD.
Oh, yeah, the crocus is pushing through the snow. Yep. Let's talk about that real quick. Not necessarily snow. How many people I know in our area, we are zone 7B to 8A. We're kind of like right on that line for gardening.
Right.
And when I went out to the truck this morning,
Hey, PJ.
looking through the field,
Bobby.
it had such a heavy frost, it looked like snow out there.
Yeah,
How many of y'all have crops in the ground
Roger,
already?
good to see you.
How many of you have, like we do, peach trees blooming, blueberries blooming, strawberries? I don't think the strawberries have ever been hurt by the frost, but the blueberries in the past have.
Yeah.
And I know that the peaches and stuff have. So we probably have another frost coming because in our area, I don't know about yours.
Say hey to Rachel and Heather.
Hey, Rachel. Hey, Heather. Oh, hey. Yeah, I can't. I'm trying to ignore the comments.
I'm watching them. Go ahead.
Yeah, but you're making me pay attention
I'm sorry.
to them.
I'm sorry.
So in our area, it thundered in February, and I have seen two different old wives' tales, if you will, about thunder in February and stuff. So thunder in February, you're going to have a frost in April on the same date, it says.
Yeah.
And thunder in winter means you're going to have snow in spring.
You know what's bad too is it thundered February 12th.
Mm-hmm.
April 12th.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that a minute.
You think about that a minute. When's Easter this year? Because we there's a reason we always plant after Easter.
Right.
So.
No, when our fire pit's at night. So.
Oh shoot! It is, and we may be camping.
We'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be cold, and I'm going to be in a camper for a fire pit night. It's going to be fun. Yeah. All right. So anyway, yeah, I forgot about that part.
Yeah.
See, I'm still stuck on the 5th is when the fire pit night is, but it's not. Oh, goodness.
Patrick said he heard turkeys already gobbling in February.
Yep.
Go ahead, Bev. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
It's your show. Go ahead.
So yeah. Well, what I had planned on talking about tonight that this person here is messing up, making me nervous. We planned on talking chickens tonight. This was my topic for tonight.
You may have a guest on in a minute too.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Anyway, see, there you go, messing me up again.
Okay.
Anyway, so I plan on talking chickens tonight because, chicken is a dual purpose animal. It's actually got multiple purposes if you actually get down to the nitty gritty of it. Compost. Now, it's a hot compost, so you have to actually let it go through a heat before you apply that to your plants. In a crap hits the fan situation, you could be stuffing pillows with feathers. quills from the tail feathers. Could make a riding thing or a poking thing because them quills are hard. But it's also meat and eggs. So dual purpose.
Also manure?
I said that.
Oh, did I?
Compost.
I'm sorry.
Had to go through heat.
Yeah.
So I started with the most obvious.
Yeah.
And then ended with the other two obvious, chicken and eggs. So when you have a flock,
Oh my.
and this is why I can't do a show. Y'all are awful. Anyhow, so back to the chickens. When you are wanting to be self-sufficient, you can start with gardening and work your way up to, having animals. Yep, needles. One of the things that you can, some of the smallest animals that you can have on a homestead are quail and chickens. You can have ducks and turkeys. Ducks are a little bigger. They're also messier and, in my opinion, nasty. But if you have them out on a pond free range situation, you can keep them off your driveway and stuff. Then you're a lot better. But yeah, I don't know, Gary. I don't know who would want him.
Oh my.
Anyway, so some of the smallest animals you can have on next to no property at all would be chickens, quail. Ducks, you can have them in a coop situation. You can give them a pool, stuff like that. They are nasty critters, though. They create, they have a watery poop. They make a mess with the water. They like to be in the water. So even your water bucket for them where they drink out of ends up nasty because they have to dip their whole heads in it because they have the sinuses that get filled with dirt from where they dig. So yeah, ducks are nasty critters. Quail make next to no sound and they can be kept in smaller spaces. What would you say that pen we had out there that you built is? What, 2 foot by 4 foot maybe?
Yeah, something like that.
And you could put about 10 birds in there?
Yeah.
So you could have 2 males and 5 hens for each?
Yeah.
10 to 12 birds in that one coop?
Yeah.
In a 2 foot by 4 foot space?
Yeah.
And they don't make a lot of noise. The males make more noise, and you don't have to have males for eggs, but you have to have males to keep your flock going. Quail are great for meat. Y'all, quit reading the comments and laughing because you make me look.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Quail are great for meat. They're good for eggs too. You've got to think, though, they are a smaller bird. But here's its actual downfall. Quail only lay a certain period of the year, and then they stop laying. Kind of like ducks do. Ducks do the same thing. They only lay a certain time of year, and then they stop laying. Turkeys also. They stop laying through winter, like totally. You don't get an egg from a duck, turkey, or a quail through the winter. So you have to plan.
What?
You have to plan for that. So you have eggs that you hatch off, start through the winter with. Quail are full grown in, what was it, about 6 weeks that they're full grown. It doesn't take them long. And then they're full grown. Let me pull this guest in. There we go. So
I was listening to you guys talking while I was finishing up eating.
You're good.
Go ahead,
so
man.
Quail is a good thing to start with. And they don't take any room at all. The males are the noisy ones. You don't have to have the males for the eggs, though. It's the same thing with chickens. You don't have to have a male to have eggs with chickens. But if you expect to keep your own flock going when there's nobody to order from or nowhere to go to Tractor Supply and pick up chickens or go to your neighbors, that don't have chickens anymore. You've got to have a rooster to keep your flock going. When you're thinking about what breeds to get, you want to think, what's my purpose? Okay. So my purpose was to have meat and eggs. Well, the best egg layer is a white leghorn. There is absolutely zero meat on a white leghorn, though. They are the scrawniest bird out there. However, them females will lay an egg every single day of the year. We had one that didn't miss a single day, and I think there was 1 or 2 days we got 2 because of the timing that, it went through the track. Chickens don't lay 2 eggs a day. It's just, it took her less time to get it through her whole system somehow. But she never missed a day.
You could get a double yolk, though.
Oh, yeah, you could get a double yolk. But usually when you get a double yolk, it's because it backed up in the system and came through again. So you miss a day is how that should work.
A lot of my astrolopes would do that.
Yeah. That's my favorite breed, I think, now.
Yeah, I love those things.
Yep.
Those and Buff Orpingtons.
I don't like them.
That's my other favorite is the Buff Orpingtons. Yeah, our black chickens, they're constantly getting out. Constantly.
About 4 of them. Yeah.
No, 6 or 7.
Yeah.
6 or 7. Every time I fix a hole, they find another one.
I have a handful that I adopted last year, and I don't think her kids were putting them in like they said they were. And I think they got too used to being out, so I couldn't break them of the habit. So I have random yard chickens, and sometimes I'll hear something squawking and have to go out there and
save a chicken.
Yeah.
Yep.
Normally it does it while I'm asleep, so
right.
Free chicken.
Yep. Free range is my favorite critter.
That's what I do.
We have coryza in our main flock, so we have to keep the 2 flocks that we've got going that are free of it separated.
Yeah.
But if they get out and wander, the others wander, and then we got a problem. So
yeah, we haven't had that problem.
We got it. What was that? 17 or 18 that we got it originally.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much, it's almost like avian influenza or any of the other colds that chickens get. Chickens don't get colds. They get respiratory diseases that are contagious. So it's a cull or close disease. We chose
it can just go through them like nothing. So
it can. It's amazing. We lost probably half of our flock at that point. And I had never had a sick chicken in my life at that point up until that come through our flock. We had a necropsy done and they confirmed what it was. There we goes with the comments again.
Yeah, you got to watch my chickens sometimes because you don't know what you're getting.
Exactly. Well, and that was what had happened. We had bought 3 turkeys from somebody. We'd always wanted turkeys, and we bought 3 turkeys from somebody, and one of them had a cold. Well, because we kept them separated, it didn't affect the rest of the chickens. Well, the minute we put the chickens and the turkeys together, we started losing chickens. And then we figured out where it came from because we lost our rooster, and the people we got the turkeys from happened to have a rooster of the same breed. So we went to get the chicken, and they handed me a chicken that smelled like what the rest of these smelled like and was sneezing. And I just handed that chicken back. I said, y'all all can keep it. But it confirmed where it came from.
Now, what do you have breed-wise now?
What we have right now breed-wise is, well, do you want to know which ones have roosters to match or?
I've got like 70 chickens and 1 rooster. So right now, I don't.
You can't hatch.
Yeah.
We have the similar situation with the coryza group. I've probably got about 35 hens and 1 rooster over there, but it's got Easter eggers. It's got llamas, White Colombian. Is that what it? Colombian Wyandotte. That's what it is. I don't think I have a. Oh no, I do. I have a red laced Wyandotte over there. The motley crew.
Yeah, that's what mine looks like. It's a wild bunch.
Yeah. So it is. The rooster is a blue lavender Easter egger. He's gorgeous. He throws gorgeous roosters. When 90% of those eggs hatch out and they're all roosters, they are the prettiest roosters I have ever seen. But yeah, he can't fertilize 35 hens at one time.
No. And I think our Buff Orpington rooster, I think he's stressed out about something because now his comb's getting black and he's got a white tail feather that he didn't have a couple weeks ago. And
the black comb is he got bit with frostbite or got in a fight.
That's what And he's missing a spur too, which is weird because I'm like, we don't have any other roosters. So what?
Well, he got in a fight with something.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he broke off a spur.
Yeah, because stress can cause that too with that comb.
Right.
Yep.
So something happened.
Yeah, something bad. It sounds like he got in a fight with something.
Sounds like I need to buy a random batch of straight runs and see how many roosters I can come up with.
It's gonna be about half of them.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, we have the Motley Coryza crew out there that if I hatch off eggs at this point, that they would be a Coryza resistant breed. As long as I didn't put them out there, they would be resistant versus positive. My flock is positive. Every chick that has been raised out there has pretty much died until the past 2 years. So now that the chicks are raising and they're laying eggs, and then those eggs are hatching and they're laying eggs, we're at the Coryza resistant as long as I keep them away from the flock. But then this little front yard bunch that's right here behind me, they look like Belfielders, but they lay greenish brown eggs. So they're not that breed. They are an Easter egg breed, but every one of the hens and the rooster all look alike.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Plowboy is commenting
now.
You do that, and I'm going to ignore.
You do have some questions to go back and answer here.
Oh well, here you have this. You can flash them on the screen. No.
I'll tell you.
Okay.
I remember the question.
Okay, and then the other flock is black astrolopes. So that's what I have right now.
Everything I've got everything from, let's see, Rhode Island Reds, astrolopes, black sex links, red sex links.
I have some of those.
Some comets. There's some barred rocks.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say those are the a-holes when you have to get them out of the nest to collect the eggs.
Our Easter eggers are the a-holes.
I have a couple Easter eggers left, and they're not, but they're like old and just they just kind of wander around. I know some of them are still laying, but we've got a few lavenders. There's some Wyandottes, laced and golden, and whatever else. Some other ones that I can't pronounce. I can't even remember what some of them are. Yeah. But I like those Buff Orpingtons. Those big orange chickens are one of my favorites.
That's my favorite. My mama loved the Rhode Islands. I don't like a Rhode Island.
Yeah, I don't really like them either.
Who likes Dominics?
Yeah, I don't think I have any of those.
I've always liked Dominickers.
It's hard to see what's in that one flock I have.
Yeah, all of mine now, though, that are out there, I don't know if I would say they're any one specific breed anymore. Well, the originals still are. They're still their breed, but the babies, they're just barnyard mix now.
Yeah, I haven't been real excited to try to go get any birds right now because everybody's going nuts over them.
Yep, because they're hearing that there's not going to be any out there.
I tell you, mark my words, within a couple months, you'll be able to buy the damn things off a marketplace because people are going to get them and they're going to have them for a few months, and they're going to be like, well, there's no eggs, and then they're going to want to sell them. So,
well, and they're tired of cleaning up after them. Let's not forget that one.
yeah. I wish I'd had time to go full with them today. Someone was posted on one of the local pages that they bought too many chicks, but I had too much barn work to deal with today to go mess with that. So I'm sure there's not going to be a shortage of them.
No, that's what I have noticed too, is after every period where, I got to buy my chickens or I got to buy rabbits, there's always the period right after that if anybody want them.
Uh-huh. I haven't got into rabbits yet. That might be something I play with at some point, but
we just remember what I told you. They're as big as a cow, they tear everything up.
Yeah.
They do tear up some stuff.
They are cute little fluffies, but those cute little fluffies get claws just like everything else. And they have teeth just like everything else, even though they don't use them. They use them on the wire of the cages. They use them on the water lines. They use them on the water nipples. They use them on the feeders.
You know, I never had much luck with getting chickens to use them damn water cups.
All of mine use them, but if they have to pick the little yellow piece, I don't like them.
Yeah.
I like the ones that fill up and come up and fill back up again as they drink, because they can dip their beak in there and get a scoop of water like they need to.
I pretty much just have, the little water set out, and then I got a few troughs, and I always got to clean the damn tubs and everything out because of the ducks.
Yep. Ducks are nasty critters.
Well, the funny thing was, tonight before I came in here, one of my big Pekings he had gotten in one of their poles, and he decided he was just going to have a late night pool party by himself. Everybody else had gone into the building, and I was like, what in the hell are you doing? He's still out there just sitting in the damn thing.
Yep. Our one duck that we have left sleeps on the middle of the pond all night long.
Yeah.
You can look out there in winter and he'll be in the middle of the pond.
Yeah.
The only time he's not in the middle of the pond is when it's got ice on it.
Yeah.
But when we moved here, we had, what did we have, 9 or 11 ducks when we moved in here?
So yours just hung out in the pond.
That's pretty much what we did. We let them out. We let them have the pond. But then one hatched babies, and she had 6. I think she had 6. So we had 17 ducks at one point, and we have 1 duck now.
Huh.
Because the females, the term sitting duck is a real possibility for a free range duck. All of ours would set on a nest and a predator would come find them.
Yeah.
So, and then we lost 1. No, we lost 2 to snakes, probably, didn't we?
Yeah.
And 2 to cars.
Yeah.
But most of them we lost to them sitting on a nest. Most all of them.
Well, around here we've got all sorts of, between foxes, coons, aerial predators, and it's just my main issue with flying animals is hawks. There's not much you can do about that, though.
No.
And although if you put those
the owls or having those black astrolopes out there seems to do something. We have the dog.
Because I think it's crows
around in them. Mm-hmm. The only thing the hawks seemed to mess with here was the silkies we had. I won't have any more bantams. They're just a hawk bait here. But
the hawks would usually get my buffs.
Lost it.
I caught one eating one in the middle of the driveway one day when I was pulling in.
Yeah.
He was faster than my truck.
Oh, was he? When we first moved in, we lost our Brahma rooster to a hawk, I think.
Yeah.
Because we found him. But mostly I think that's the only chicken other than silkies we've lost to hawks.
I did catch an eagle carrying off one of my birds one day. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was like, well, that's a lost cause.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely
Yep.
there.
He's gone. Just
Yeah.
gone.
Not to mention the fact that the eagle looks like a 747 taking off with a chicken underneath of it.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, chicken probably never knew what hit it either. So
No, I don't think so. We almost had an argument because I thought he grabbed one of my ducks.
well, yeah, I know what you mean there. You gonna answer questions now or wait toward the
Well, this was going to be what I was going to talk about.
end? Okay.
Oh,
So
yeah.
good dual purpose chickens. A good dual purpose chicken is any of your heavy breeds. You don't want a bantam. You don't want the scrawny leghorns. The Astrolops was one of my top egg layers and meat birds because the Astrolop laid almost as many as the leghorns and were a heavy breed. And you can breed those true. So you can take an astrolop and an astrolop, and you can create an astrolop. Whereas with like the comets and stuff like that, you get a comet and a comet, and who knows what you're going to get.
Yeah.
So that was like them, and I think the Belfelders was another one that was top of my list for a dual purpose. But Orpingtons are great. I don't like Rhode Islands, but a lot of people do. Pretty much you can grab a hatchery catalog and it'll have them sectioned off into egg layers, meat birds, or dual purpose. And pretty much all of your heavy breeds make a great dual purpose bird.
We have been thinking about ordering some through the mail instead of fighting with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where we're at. We got our Astrolops last year through the mail. And I got 10 pullets and I got 5 straight run. Of the 5 straight run, was it 3 or 4 that were roosters? I think it was 3. 3 were roosters and 2 were hens. So I ended up with 12 hens and 3 roosters.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about that. Mail versus hatch your own. When you order through the mail, you have to be careful because you got to order at the time that you want them delivered. They're coming in the mail. You have to go pick them up right then and there because if you wait a day to go to pick them up, they're going to be dead. You're still probably going to have some not arrive in good health because, they've been in shipping for a day at least. You can choose your breeds. You have a lot more variety to choose from. You can choose hens, roosters, or straight run. Straight run means whatever they gather up goes in the box. They are totally unsexed. They don't know. When you hatch, I will say that I have hatched out 24 eggs and got 20 roosters. So the good thing is that I hatched my own birds. They grew up and I had meat in the freezer. But a lot of people don't want to have a plan for those unwanted birds. So you have to make some choices there. When I think about hatching or ordering, I want mine to arrive in June. Not right now. I want them to arrive in June. Why? What's the temperature like in June? It's nice. So,
and it's not, you don't have to worry about them getting too cold.
Exactly. I keep them in the house a week, maybe 2 weeks then. And them suckers go out in the front yard with a heat lamp. They've got a dog house that I set up that they can go in and out of, and they can acclimate to the outside temperature, and I don't have to worry. I no longer have to clean the brooder every day, worry about the heat lamp falling inside my house and burning the house down.
I had
I
a
don't
close
have to
call
worry
with
about
that
Dusty
last year.
Gander. Oh, did you?
One of our lamps had lowered itself to the straw. It
Oh,
unclamped itself. And I came
oh,
walking past the hallway, one of the hallway rooms out in one of the old buildings I keep them in, and I'm like, what is that? Why is it smoking in there? And I looked, and the lamp was like hanging this far from the straw. But the weird thing was the bulb was in the straw, but for whatever reason, it didn't catch fire. It was just there, like shaping itself into a new bulb. The bulb was like the bulb's still good. I still have the bulb, but the bulb had like melted itself, and it was like, well, whoa! And I pulled it back up.
Wow.
well,
That was,
you got lucky.
Yeah.
I know.
You got lucky.
You have
But
to
I
be careful.
decided
when the
this
heat's
year I'm
up.
going to do things a little different. Instead of keeping them on the enclosed porch, a friend of ours, when they had to move, they didn't have anywhere to put their. They had one of those big fancy houses with the little nesting area. So I don't have anything in there right now. I'm gonna probably just
Yes.
put all of them in there with a heat lamp in the nesting area, and then once they're big enough, I'll just let them down into the run.
Yep.
That way, I can keep them all contained,
Yep.
and
Yeah, I don't do well with the brooder phase. I hate the brooder phase in the house.
I just had a
why
wooden box
I
out here that I kept them in
Mm-hmm.
with a lamp, and I could just walk out on the porch and look at them, and then
Yep.
walk back inside.
Yep. Yep. I just put mine outside and raise them out there because I don't have a desire to raise
It's
them in the
going to be
house.
easier. I did it in the basement one year, and it started stinking, and I was like, "Good Lord!" It was
Well, and
coming
you've
up
got
through
the dust that comes from it and everything.
Uh-huh.
It gets rough raising chicks.
Yeah. And the smell. It don't matter how clean it is, there's still a smell.
Yeah.
So
You should come past some of the farms up here, the grain guys, when they get their loads of chicken manure in, and they gotta let it sit there and
awful.
heat. Whew.
We have that here too.
Stirring
can
my
tell when
manure
they
pit
spread it.
doesn't smell anywhere nearly as bad as that pile of chicken manure.
Yep. They'll put it in a windrow and they'll turn it every
Oh,
so
yeah.
often. And you can tell when it just got turned or it got spread. You'll drive through where the chicken houses
Yeah.
are and you'll be like, oh
And you
my
get
God.
all the people that don't know what that is, and they're calling saying the field's on fire, or
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
it's
Yeah,
like
that's
some of
a
these old barns that had the old upright silos. A lot of times you get that old feed in there, and that thing would start to smoke,
Mm-hmm.
and then there was nothing you could do about it. You'd just have to let it go. Of
Mm-hmm.
course, everybody be driving around down the road calling the fire department.
Yeah.
Yep.
Your barn's on fire. No, it's just the silo.
Yep. It's all good. We good.
How many times you had fire department whoop up, Jeff?
For something, it's always something stupid. Be either here or I'd be at one of my other friends' farms, and we'd be either burning something, or I was burning stuff out in the yard one night and walked into the house for a minute, left my phone in here, come back in the other room, and my phone was ringing off the hook. One of the old folks at the nursing home thought the damn barn was on fire. I don't know. So then they had called like 8 departments. Thank God I knew one of the guys. I called him back and said, "Hey, everything's fine." He run back into the while they were suiting up. He's like, "False alarm."
Yep. Wow.
But yeah, we burned stuff here, and it was never any of the big fires. It was always some little fire we were having. I could be burning a brush pile out back and no one would show up. But I'd be up here somewhere burning something, and I don't know.
Here they come. Yeah.
Here they come.
Yeah, when you need them, they're not there.
You burn a fire the size of a house, no one shows up. You burn a couch cushion in in a burn barrel in your front yard, and everyone starts.
Everyone. Yep.
Everyone shows up.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's about it. That's about
It's
it.
about like when I tried to set the field on fire at the old house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
Hey.
were you burning?
Hey, Wood.
I
Good
was
to see you, man.
burning just a little tiny brush pile, and here come the wind.
That's why I don't burn anything when the wind starts blowing.
It wasn't blowing when I started.
Yeah,
but we got it out.
Yeah.
So Mark wasn't there, but we got it out.
Yeah, it's yeah, old Roger had a good question for you a while ago. What was behind you on the wall? What kind of duck it was? He was messing with you.
Well, actually, there are ducks in here. Hold on.
Oh, there are.
Yeah.
Those are surf scoters, and I think the one in the front's a common scoter. The one in the back, hold on, kind of looks like a toucan.
Yeah, he has that mark on him, don't he?
That's actually something that exists in Maryland, of all places.
And for those that don't know, that's a pheasant.
Yeah, that's
those
are what they call sea ducks.
Yes.
Yeah.
What kind of ducks are you raising?
Right now, I just have Pekings and khakis.
Okay.
I think that's what we had too, was Pekings and khakis. And then we bred the two together, basically.
I have the fattest Pekings you've ever seen. These three are like, I could eat them if I wanted to, but I'm not much into eating ducks and geese. I eat ducks sometime, but you don't want to eat those sea ducks. Those things taste like seaweed.
Yeah, I can imagine.
That's probably what they eat a lot of, probably.
Well, say you're supposed to soak them in buttermilk first, and at least that's what the old timers used to tell me.
Right.
That's what they do to everything. They soak it all in buttermilk.
Now, is your ducks for eggs, or are you just raising meat ducks?
Well, I originally just got them as pets, but they're laying pretty good eggs right now, so we're selling duck eggs too.
Yeah, they just started laying back up, starting to lay up again.
I mean, they're piling them up.
Yep. Be careful, they start going dirty.
I've only got 6 of them.
You have to do an Easter egg hunt for them every time?
No, they normally lay them in their enclosure.
Okay.
Some of my outdoor chickens, I got to do an Easter egg hunt.
Every day.
We got some that move every day. You can't never figure them out. So.
When you find them, they find a new one.
Right outside here, there's like a little, well, that reminds me, I need to water my ferns, but they look like they're still alive. There's like a little nook in between the front porch and this little plant room, and I didn't realize they were laying them there until the dogs started coming up on the porch with the eggs. And then one of them on one of my porch chairs out here that we don't sit in all the time, it's like a little glider that has a bunch of cushions on it. She was nesting in the middle of the cushions, and for like 4 or 5 days, I couldn't figure out why this chicken was up on the porch all the time until I moved the cushions around. And then there was like 12 eggs sitting there.
There it was.
So I didn't even need to be walking out to the hen house to get any. I could have just walked onto the front porch.
Just snuck an egg out every now and then. Yep.
And people have been buying them like nuts. I mean, it's been...
Ours has slowed down again.
Yeah.
But I'm finding new buyers here and there. But ours is slowing back down because the prices are slowly coming back down. So.
Yeah, we had upped the prices and went to a 2 dozen limit because people were just going into the store and cleaning out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, who needs 10 dozen eggs?
Yeah. Unless they was reselling them
Right.
or something. But you never know about folks nowadays.
I mean, we were doing a deal on them for 5 dozen, but then people were flocking in and getting
Yeah.
all of them. We got a lot of local people that have nowhere to get rid of theirs, so we get a lot of them. But even those people were getting bombarded. So
Yeah. I found somebody that would buy most all the rest of my eggs now. So she does what you do. She buys from the people that ain't got nowhere for their eggs to go.
yeah,
So we're up to about, shoot, I think we're getting about 3.5 dozen a day now.
a lot of people around here are having trouble with predators right now. So
Yeah, that's a problem too.
And it's spring, so it's going to be fox pup season soon.
Oh yeah, yep. In fact,
everybody thinks they're so cute and cuddly when they see them coming out of the dens on the side of the road.
Oh yeah,
until
yeah.
they're
I
in
hear
your
that a
hen
lot.
house.
Don't run that fox off. Will you put your animals out there with him then?
I got to stay off of a lot of the community pages when I keep seeing the cute, cuddly fox pups.
Yeah,
because I start offending a lot of people.
Yeah, that and the coons that they're wanting to feed in their yard, and the possums they're wanting to feed in their yard, and
I've watched. I had a flock one time. I didn't even see what that was. I had 26 hens taken out by a fox in one afternoon.
Oh wow! I want to say the person that I saw post today about the neighborhood dogs that got her chickens, so she wasn't going to have no more chickens, and everybody just find somewhere else to get their eggs from. She's one of the ones that didn't want people running the foxes off. Yep.
That's where it goes sometimes.
Yep. Yeah, she made a big post about it today that neighborhood's dog came and scaled the fence even to get into her property to and killed all her chickens. So what's the best way to clean your eggs? I just put them under room temperature water and wash it off. Not hot, not cold, just medium.
And if they're a little sticky, you can sometimes if they're kind of, crappy, I'll just let them sit there for a little bit and then I'll come back and rinse them off.
I got a little scouring pad.
But you have one of those. I thought about getting one of those. Is it the one with the brush?
No, it's just the little thin Brillo pad.
Wow.
It's not like the SOS. It's just
they make one with like bristles in it that you can use, but that just
is there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just have it's almost like a washcloth, but it's a little thicker and it's it's the scouring pad's what it's called. And I just rub the egg as I wash it and it all comes off.
Yeah.
I don't even have to press hard. It just
I guess if we wanted to get fancy, we could get one of those egg scrubbers, but
and all the stuff that washes your eggs or the egg wipes, no. And that was what I was going to say about my show today. Is I was going to tell you the best thing to remember about anything you're doing out there, whether it's chickens or gardening or rabbits or anything, is one simple rule. KISS. Keep it simple.
Don't overcomplicate it.
Chickens don't need the Taj Mahal.
No.
They just need a roof over their head and something to protect them from predators. They don't need 15 different types of food.
Nope.
When I was working at Tractor Supply, they had a breakfast blend even.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
I was like, oh my gosh. And people were buying this stuff. They started selling chick grit, because people give grit to the grown chickens. They figured that the chicks needed grit too. Never in my life have I given a chick grit.
I feed mine layer mash and scratch feed. I start the chicks out with chick starter, but as soon as they're big enough, they go right to that layer mash.
Same. And I don't do mash, I do pellets. Because ours, they scrape it out, and once it gets on the ground, it's gone.
Yeah. Our mill that we get all of our feed from, they don't really do pellets. They do all their in-house mash. So that's what I mean,
Yeah,
ours
they just
clean it
mix
up.
everything together.
Yeah, ours clean it up pretty good. And
Yeah.
scratch feeds and just, whatever vegetable scraps you have, fruit, whatever.
That's kind of what we do. We
And
have a
for
layer pellet.
protein, yeah,
We have a layer pellet. We have scratch, especially for winter, because
yeah,
we'll go out there and throw it to them before night falls because it'll be in their system working and help them keep them warm.
yeah.
Because we don't have the Taj Mahal for a coop.
No,
In fact, ours don't like to
just
even
got old
sleep in the
buildings.
coop we have.
Yep.
Ours sleep in a tree and they sleep on top of their coop. The 4 days that it was below freezing,
Yeah.
they were sitting on top of the coops. I mean, they don't need a heat
Yeah.
lamp once they're grown.
I have an old corn crib that some of them sleep in. I got a hallway in the old woodworking shop. Part of that old woodworking shop is just all run down, so we just turned it into chicken housing. So there's a bunch of them in that section. I did put a timer on it with a light in there for winter, at least for that building, because it has electric.
And it'll extend the laying period.
Yeah. But a lot of times in the wintertime, a couple old timers told me years ago to give them extra protein in the winter. If you got any like deer scraps from when you're cleaning deer,
oh yeah,
or
they'll
the rib
do that.
cages, whatever scraps of meat in there.
Yep. When
And
we clean our rabbits,
they will clean that stuff up too.
Well, I've done with a lot of it.
Fed it to the chickens.
Some of it, yeah.
They will clean it up.
Yep.
Yeah, all they are is little T-Rex.
Yep.
Yeah. And my friends that do a lot of catfishing and stuff, when they bring fish carcasses, or if he's got a bunch of catfish or whatever he needs to toss, we'll throw them in there and they pick them too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, keep it simple though. Keep it simple.
Yeah.
They don't need every food out there, every treat out there. You can feed them what you got.
You know what I use for laying boxes? If you can find old shelving units or old dresser drawers from old furniture that's falling apart. That building was the old owners. All he did when he got older was woodworking. So there was a bunch of old, furniture that had been in there covered in bird crap for 50 years or whatever. And we just started taking all those things apart, and I started screwing the dresser drawers to the wall, putting straw in them, old trash cans. I mean, you don't need to go buy all that crap from Tractor Supply, all the waterers and all the fancy houses and all that.
We reuse. How many people have cats in the house?
Not me.
Litter boxes. Maybe not you. They have a big 25-pound bucket.
Yeah.
It's square.
Yeah.
When it's empty, it can have a hole cut in it for the 90-degree PVC pipe. There's your feeder. You can screw those little nipples we talked about at the beginning of the show into the sides. There's your water bucket. You can turn it on its side, take off part of the lid. It'll hold straw. There's your nest box. Yeah. Then you can take a 50-pound bag and fill up 2 buckets with it, and it's suddenly bug and rat proof. So they chew through the plastic. Yeah. So that's what we do for the front yard crew here. We split 1 bag into 2 buckets, and one for this crew and one for that crew.
And if you ever see anybody that's cleaning out their place that's getting rid of stuff,
milk crates.
Yeah, I mean, when my neighbors were moving and the ones I got all the extra birds from that sleep outside, I got that chicken coop, and they were getting rid of all their waterers and feeders and stuff, so I scooped all of them up.
Yep.
And I swear she must have bought a new feed bucket every time she was at Tractor Supply. So I wasn't too concerned if one of them got ran over or busted up or something, because we got
a bunch.
Yeah, got a bunch of them.
Yep.
Marketplace is your friend. I will say that.
Marketplace is definitely your friend.
Yes.
You'll find anything on there that you could possibly need. Coops. My first coop was an old dog kennel. It was a 10 by 10 chain link kennel. And I put a tarp over the top for a roof. You don't need the Taj Mahal.
No.
Now
if
it's
got old
cattle
sheds or
panels.
something that you're not using.
Yeah, now I have cattle panels zip tied together in an arch. That's my chicken coop.
I just pen them in old buildings. I mean, it works. I got all that old stuff.
Yep. We don't have all the old buildings. So
yeah.
When we moved in here, it didn't have fencing. It didn't have flower beds. It didn't have landscaping of any sort.
Yeah.
So everything that's here other than the shop, now he had a nice shop and a little tiny gazebo, and everything else we put here.
Yeah.
So
yeah, if you could come up with, I mean, if you could find anything you wanted to build a chicken coop out of a marketplace.
Yep. All it needs is protection from the elements and predators. That's all it needs. And shoot, like I said, ours sleep on top of the coop. They don't care. That's where they sleep. So, and how many people know how many nest boxes you need?
You really don't need that many.
How many nest boxes do you need for all your chickens?
Well, I can tell you they only lay in about 10 of them, maybe.
Yep. That's how we are. The suggested rule of thumb is one nest box to every, is it 6 or is it 10? I think it's every 6 hens you need one nest box. However, they only will lay in one nest box for 30 chickens.
Oh.
And that's if they lay in that nest box.
Yeah, that's the thing that always baffled me. Why are you not like, is it like they all got to go to the bathroom at the same time or something deal where they all got to be crowded around each other?
Something. I've gone out there and 3 chickens in one nest box at the same time with 12 empty ones right there.
Oh yeah. My one, there's like 8 boxes. I think they lay in 2 of them. And then in here, in the big one, they might use 3 or 4 spots in the shelving unit, and it's a big shelving unit.
Yep.
I mean, it just makes me laugh every time I see how they do it, because I just don't get why they're like that.
I used to, when I went out to gather eggs, I would do a little short when I had my old Facebook profile, and I would say, how many nest boxes do we need for all of these chickens? And then I'd show them one nest box with 3 chickens in it, or one nest box with 15 eggs, and all the ones beside it empty. You need one. That's all you need. One.
It's empty, and they've kicked all the bedding out of it.
Yep.
Except for where they're laying.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it. So
using sawdust, they just knock all that out of there. That straw works better.
That's what we do. We have the bush hogged field. I go out and gather it up and put it back like hay, and that's what I put in my nest boxes.
I've used pine needles sometimes too. If you've
I've
got
done that.
I
don't go buy none. I've used grass clippings. I mean, you name it. I don't buy.
I mean, I just use whatever we're bedding with the cows, so
Yep.
But I'm not putting sand.
We buy feed, and we don't even buy expensive feed.
Yeah,
we don't buy.
I don't understand why people get all nuts about the feed. Like, it's not
because they're pets and not livestock. We don't give ours oyster shells. I haven't given them the eggshells back. A lot of people will dry the eggshells, crush them up, and feed them back to the chickens. We haven't had to do that here because ours free range. So they're finding enough.
I just do it anyway. If I got shells, I just toss them out there.
Yeah, I used to compost them, but I haven't been composting lately like I should.
Boy, forget. there was a question about free range.
Okay.
Why was that better?
Free range is better because it gives them access to all the things that they need that you don't have to provide them. The reason people are feeding mealworms is because their chickens are in a little 10 by 10 coop and never get out of it. And that's a source of protein and other micronutrients that they may need. They're giving them oyster shells because, again, they can't get out and go scratch and get grit in their systems like they need. That's why all the extra stuff is out there, because people are keeping in the little Tractor Supply coop like I have in my front yard. They say it's designed to hold 6 chickens. It's not big enough for one, in my opinion. So, yeah, that's why people are giving them oyster shells, giving them all that stuff. Yes, it makes a huge difference with the eggs. What they eat is what flavors your eggs. If they are not eating bugs and getting all the extra nutrients that they need, that they're just in a pen with feed, that's the difference between a grocery store egg and some farmers' eggs.
Then will it make a difference with the eggs?
Yes. Well, just answered.
Oh, I know.
You know what makes me laugh, though? People think that because one egg is lighter or darker than the other, that means that it was cage raised or something.
Yep.
I can go out here and I can go gather the eggs and I can crack open a couple of them and they'll all be different. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We had one customer before I went to working and everything. She did not want a white egg in her cartons that she bought from us because that meant I was getting them from the store and giving them to her. Stacy, are you talking about the yolks being different colors, or are you talking about the shells being different colors? The shells, there are 2 colors of shells in nature. One is blue, one is white. When you crack a brown egg and you look on the inside of the shell, it's white. Mm-hmm. When you crack a blue egg and you look on the inside of the shell, it might be blue. So the egg shell is created, whichever color it is, white or blue, and then it's painted by the chicken system. The yolks are different colors based on what they eat. Yes.
They're eating probably a lot of protein. It's going to probably be a lot more yellow.
Yep.
Yeah. And sometimes if they're eating the same amount, they can still have different color yolks. It's not.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Some of it's breed. Some of it is what they eat. Some of it is what else they eat. Right. And that's a really rich egg if it's almost orange.
And I'll tell you, I've had Easter eggers that never laid anything but white eggs.
Yep.
And I've had some that lay every color under the sun.
Yep. Same here.
Sure will, PJ.
Same here.
And I think there's a couple of olive eggers out there too.
Yeah. The true Americana, the original Americana, laid a blue egg.
Yep.
And the inside of that eggshell was blue. It wasn't coated blue. It was a blue eggshell.
Yeah.
And then it would have a coat put on it. But the Easter eggers, if they're laying a blue egg, it's probably white on the inside. That's the Americana versus Araucana. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. Araucana is the one with the blue shell. Americana is a mix.
Now, I don't know if anybody's ever tried this, but guinea eggs aren't bad either.
They're not. We eat them. He can't eat them. He can't eat silky eggs. Him and a friend of his, neither one of them can eat a silky egg. Explain that to me. He can't eat the guinea eggs and he can't eat the duck eggs.
I just have trouble cracking the guinea eggs usually is my problem.
I have to crack the shell and then take a fork and get up under that peel.
I had some that were so hard I could bounce them off of the kitchen counter and not break
them.
Okay.
You drop a regular chicken egg on the counter, it's going everywhere. You could drop one of those, yeah. Just smacking it on the side of the frying pan trying to get it open.
Yeah. The quail eggs are the same. You about can't crack them.
I raised quail. I've raised them before.
Now, what kind did you raise?
I was just raising, mine were pets. I wasn't eating these things. They were like little tuxedo quail and
Oh, those are pretty.
yeah.
Okay.
They're little.
They were also
catonics.
very prone to being dumb and not going inside the coop, and the raccoons would reach through the chicken wire and pluck them through the.
Yep. Yep. The snakes do that too.
Yeah.
The snakes.
I've never had one in my coops, but I've helped get them out of other people's chicken wire when they got tangled up in there.
Oh man, I had to do that out of that plastic bird netting one time.
Oh yeah, that was. I think that might actually been what it was stuck in.
And I took, after I had to cut that snake out of that plastic bird netting. He had to help me. First of all, I don't like snakes. And here I am cutting this snake out of this netting. I went around the property and found every piece of that thin plastic bird netting and put it in the trash.
I actually had to go to my neighbor's basement yesterday because he is deathly scared of snakes. And he had for whatever reason, like the lower side of the road over here attracts snakes in that vicinity. I don't know what it is. But he gets a snake almost at least once a year. I get a phone call that there is one. And I'm like the resident turtle man on the road. So anytime there's some sort of critter problem, I get a phone call.
Oh, he'll get
it. Black man definitely afraid of black snakes. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen. He will hide in the other room until the snake has been apprehended. And I had to go get it out of the ceiling. It was in the drop ceiling in the basement. He was turning off a water line, and the thing like hung its head down and looked at him. And he called me and says, "You're not busy, are you?" I was like, "Let me guess, you got one in the basement again." So I went over there with the feed sack and dropped him into it.
Do y'all have a lot of poisonous snakes?
Copperheads sometimes, not too much. Like right here, like up on the ridge, we might get them, and down by the river, but not too bad. Occasionally, I'll hear a story about somebody seeing a rattlesnake, but it's the last time I heard of one. It was right across the line in PA, up in Delta, and that's the only one I've really ever heard of close to us. Normally, you got to go out like Western Maryland or up into Pennsylvania to get into
toward the mountains. Yeah,
towards the mountains.
Yeah, I never have heard you say much about snakes. That's why I asked.
No, it's generally black snakes. Occasionally, we'll get a copperhead, but that's usually down by the river.
Right.
I've killed several of them trying to get into the cabin.
Yeah, that's a no for me. No. I'm with him. I'd call somebody and I'd be elsewhere. I was not happy cutting that snake out.
Well, she went in one time the chicken coop, and there was a big chicken snake in there, and I think it done slaughtered, 2 or 3 eggs.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I heard screaming and carrying on. Sounded like the barn was falling down. And
that sounds like when my mom runs into one.
And I got down there and chased him around, finally got him. Then the bird dog run up, and I throwed him to the bird dog.
Oh, man.
That bird dog hated snakes.
He used to love to play with them.
Yeah. He'd just get up there and toss them in the air, catch them and shake them.
But he was a good dog.
The one way you can tell if you're close to one of them copperheads is if you smell cucumbers and there aren't any cucumbers around.
Yeah.
You might want to be making your way out of the area unless you can see them, because I've damn near stepped on a few of them.
Oh, I'm sure I have too, and just never knew it.
That's around here. That's most of the people that get bit are bit by copperheads most of the time.
Now, where you are, do you have a lot of rattlesnakes there, or is it?
Oh yes,
yeah,
cottonmouths. Yeah,
we got them all here. Yeah. Got them all.
That's when a pistol loaded with birdshot comes in handy.
Oh yeah. When I was young, we used to run and play through the junkyard. I don't know how we didn't get snake bit. I don't know how.
Well, that was what happened up here. A friend of ours that was a teacher at the high school, her daughter actually milked cows for us for a while. Her daughter got bit by one by a rattlesnake when she was a kid. The only story I've ever heard about a rattlesnake around here. And it was like 5 or 6 miles that direction.
Right.
And she got bit by a timber rattler.
How do we store eggs? I put them on the counter.
Yep.
That's all I do. I just leave them there. And I'll be honest, I don't even wash them before I use them.
I don't wash mine unless I'm selling them. If I'm keeping them for myself, I don't even.
Yeah, I'll just crack it and carefully, empty it into the bowls where it's not going all over the shell or nothing. And if I'm boiling them, I'll wash them and put them in the pot. But
have you ever tried canning them?
We pickle eggs, but I don't do what's it called? Water glassing.
Yeah, I think that's
our chickens lay all year round. So for me, there's not a point to have a stock of water glassed eggs everywhere. If you don't have chickens, I could see that might be something worth trying. But for me, that's just a waste of time and effort and expense for the jar and the lime and the water. And but as far as actually canning them, I'll boil them and pickle them. But I had a friend that put eggs in a canner, but I never heard how they turned out. Because everything I've ever read says that's not safe.
I haven't done it in a while, but I have canned deer meat and stuff like that with
my neighbors. The meat is different. Yeah. But the eggs, I just don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how that would play out either. Yeah. There's too many things there that could go wrong with with eggs.
Yep. Yeah. How long do they last on my counter unwashed? Well, when we moved in here in 19, we brought eggs with us from the old house. And I think they were still sitting on the counter in February the next year. So it depends on temperature and what your belief of a bad egg is.
Yeah.
That's your number one thing right there. And here's why I say that. So, and this is going to go against what we've all been taught. I boiled some eggs one day. I float tested them. Whatever floated, I pulled out. Yep. Whatever didn't float, I boiled. I boiled a rotten egg. A rotten egg is a bad egg.
Yeah.
It sunk to the bottom. I boiled a bad egg. So when I was peeling that sucker, I found it. That was a bad day. So
that's the first time I've heard of that happening.
It was wintertime. You know how they crack if they freeze and little things like that. I wasn't candling my eggs back then. I was just going by the float test. That's what you're taught. Well, after that, I was like, well, how in the world will I know a true bad egg? So the next time I boiled eggs, the floaters I pulled out. I cracked them. I put them in a bowl. Guess what? They looked just like a regular fresh egg.
Yep.
They were just a little thinner and didn't stand up as tall in that bowl.
Yeah.
I smelled it. It smelled the same. I actually scrambled it and cooked it and ate it. Tasted the same. Everything about that egg was the same. The float test only tells you the age of the egg, not if it's good or bad. What it does is, so your egg is naturally going to suck air in and release moisture. You're going to end up with an air cell. The older the egg gets, the bigger the air cell. The more air, the more it floats. So now I don't float test anything. I take a candle or a flashlight and I candle my eggs. If it looks clear, it's still a good egg. If I crack it, it's still a good egg. I don't
That's
go
what I've
by.
wondered about, because all the old timers around here always said, well, if it floats, you gotta get rid of
That
it.
just tells you it's an old egg,
Yeah.
not a bad egg.
And I break them
So-
out here, and I'm like, well, that doesn't look like it's.
Yep. So if you take and shine a flashlight through it and you don't see funniness in the egg, I guess
Yeah.
we'll just call it that, because you can tell if it's cloudy in there. You can tell if it's got something growing in there.
Yeah.
All those things. Well, trust me, a rotten egg is definitely cloudy. It's definitely got something in there. If I had candled that egg, I would have never put it in that pot.
Yeah, because I've had eggs that were completely fine and busted them open to cook them and ended up ruining the whole batch because there was.
I crack every egg in a separate bowl.
Yeah.
But I candle them and I look at them, and if they're clear and I can see the yolk looks good, then I'll use it.
Once in a while, you'll get one with a broken yolk. That's not necessarily bad.
No, it's not. It just means it caught on the shell, or you poked your finger through it, or it had a separate. So the yolk has a separate membrane, and the egg itself has a membrane. So the older the egg, the thinner that membrane gets, is all.
And sometimes the eggs can get pushed to the bottom of the pile, or the chickens can,
Yep.
I've had them bury them in some of our nesting boxes.
We have a dog that buries them.
Somebody had a question, was if you wash them, does that make them ruin quicker?
So it doesn't make them ruin quicker, but it does make them age faster.
Yes.
Once you wash them, they do need to be in the fridge because that will help slow down that aging process. I don't know if it'll actually keep them from being bad or not, because I don't wash my eggs. But I will say this: once you buy them from the store, they have to go in the fridge. Once refrigerated, it must stay refrigerated.
Yes. Yeah.
Can you eat a fertilized egg? Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely. Because until you actually put it in an incubator, it's not turning into anything. It's just an egg.
Unless you had a hen that was sitting on a nest that you didn't see.
That's the incubator.
Yeah.
If she's actually broody and sitting on that nest 24/7, pretty much, you're incubating an egg.
Oh, yeah.
At that point, it's probably not good. But you know what? You can look at it with that flashlight again, and it'll show you if it's starting to develop or not. You'll see spider webbing. You'll see the first original spot in there where the fertilization starts and start turning into cells. It will show in there, and then the spider webbing of the veins. And then if it's a bad egg that started incubating, you'll see a blood ring. So, yep.
I've looked at plenty of them under a light. So
I have had the shellless eggs. They are okay, but I don't eat them.
Now
that membrane just turns to rubber is all once the air hits it.
Where you get what I refer to as a soft shell.
Yeah, we call them rubber eggs because they don't have a shell.
Usually the chicken ends up snagging one before you see it.
That's most of the time what we have is the chicken done stepped on it or poked it or something, and it's no longer an egg. It's just a mess.
Miss Diane said too, once you wash them, you need to refrigerate them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it slows down the aging process.
A lot of people don't know this, but most of the time when you get store eggs, they're 2 months old.
Yep, they are. That's why I say I don't go by the age test, because we're getting them so old already, it's not even funny.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's amazing how long they'll last.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I have ate the blood spots every now and then. I'll pick it out. Yep.
Some people throw them away because they think they're bad.
Yeah, it's not. It's just a a blood clot that passed through while the egg was developing. I saw something else up in there that somebody said. Let me go back and see if I can find that.
I'll get pictures from people and they'll be like, does this look all right? And I was like, yeah, it's fine.
That's washing the bloom off right there. Egg has no shell. Those are okay too. Fertilized eggs.
And who is the beefcake guest?
Him.
Oh,
Oh,
I know.
who is, for everybody that doesn't know, this is Jeffy Harrington. I guess I forgot to say that,
I
didn't
think
I?
most everybody knows who Jeff is.
Maybe I didn't see anything. I thought I did, but I thought, yeah.
Tonight he's milkman. Some nights he's egg man.
He's been the zip liner.
Zip liner.
Yeah,
I done saw something about zip lining and eggs in the comments, and I just let it go. But
Yeah.
yeah.
I forgot to change my name to Eggman tonight.
Yeah, that's it. So I use eggs in baking a lot, but duck eggs is really the best for baking. They are just so much better.
Yeah, a lot of people commented way back on about duck eggs were better for the cakes.
Yep.
And
now that's why people buy a lot of the ones we have for cakes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I imagine the guinea eggs would be
They
good
are.
for cakes.
There you go. I am the egg man. I am the walrus.
Don't tell me there's a song.
I had to go back and laugh at some of these.
You've never heard that song?
I guess I haven't. You'll have to play that.
Across the Universe and the Beatles.
Oh yeah, okay. I think
I am the Eggman.
Well, I was never a big Beatle fan.
I am the walrus.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Man. I hate to say it, I wasn't a big Beatles fan. I'm sorry.
I wasn't a big Beatles fan either, but I loved Across the Universe. Yeah. So. Yeah.
You guys planning on doing broilers, or you not going to fool with them?
Well, we have done the broilers in the past, and we did, what is it that everybody gets? The Cornish cross. Those are the nastiest birds. They don't ever seem like they grow the belly feathers. They just sit in their mess, and they are such a hot bird.
Man, I ain't never seen no bird that sucker was steaming when I was cleaning. I said, Lord have mercy.
They are hot.
I mean,
but they did produce these big, huge chickens.
Have you ever tried Rangers? Rangers are another one.
Yeah, the Freedom Rangers, and what's that other one that everybody's doing now?
That German.
No. There's another one. They were comparing the Freedom Rangers and the other one, and I can't remember.
Was it some sort of cross?
It was some sort of a cross. Well, Freedom Ranger is a cross too.
Yeah.
That's the downside. All of them are crosses. So you're
trying to remember because I don't know much of the of those breeds.
Yeah. The Cornish cross is an achievable cross, but you have to have the two breeds, and there's specific bloodlines that those come from, actually, come to find out. No complaints. Oh Lord. Time out.
I'd thought about doing some of my own chickens for meat.
We did them.
I wasn't really impressed with them. I mean, they were pretty.
They made good chicken for the freezer. They did.
I mean, they're big breasts. I ain't never seen.
You could take a half of one and put it in a quart jar and can it. Half of one.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was good.
But I'm like her. They once they got so big, they just kind of stayed on their stomach all the time, and all they do is eat.
That's all.
That's because their legs give out because they,
they get so fat. Yeah.
They're all spindly and.
But that's why we do the dual purpose breeds, because in order to keep your flock going, you have to have a plan for the roosters. So there's your plan for the roosters. Yeah. The meat bird part. But
them roosters make good dumplings.
I can't watch the processing of the chicken. I can, well, let me rephrase that. I can watch the second half. There we go. Without putting it into terms. I can't watch the final blow. There we go.
Yeah, I helped one of our neighbors do a bunch of turkeys one year, and as much as I've been involved with, putting livestock down and hunting, having to slaughter a bunch of birds is
Yeah. Cute little fluffies, I have no problem. Give me a broom, we're done. Cute little fluffy. I'm good with rabbit. I can handle that.
I got no problem slaughtering pigs, but doing these turkeys it's such a mess because they don't die right away.
No. And they flop.
Yeah.
Even in the cone, they flop. And it's just, I can't, no, can't do that one.
Or the guy you're helping.
You're the only one you have to actually pull food away from too. The birds. If I let a rabbit eat that night or that morning, yeah, it's still in his system. And his system is to where you can
clean it
process it without contaminating. A chicken
is rough.
He gave one the final blow and it threw up on him.
Yeah, it was not pretty.
I was trying to give a turkey the final blow, and the guy handed me an implement that was not properly
right.
Yeah, sharpened.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, it ain't nice to have all that hit you in the face. I'm gonna tell you. Now I stand to the side way over here.
Yeah, and I can't stand that. I grew up with the chickens and having them, helping with the processing when I was growing up and everything, and running around with a chicken like its head's cut off. That's a true phrase.
Mark, I guarantee it wasn't as bad as the incident my veterinarian had with the abscess we were cutting on the cow one day.
Oh, I don't even want to talk about that. Nope.
No.
Mark, I'll tell you that one when we're talking, because
you can tell him
that was hilarious. Not for the vet, but I saw what was happening and I got the hell out of the way.
Yeah. I would not eat chicken for the longest time because of helping with growing up. The smell of the feathers being dipped in that hot water. He skins them. That's the only way I can eat them now. We don't dip in hot water. Yeah. We skin them. Just like a rabbit, you slice down it and pull it off.
Yeah, everybody used to be all about, plucking them and all this stuff. Yep. And like when we do geese or ducks, whatever we were hunting, we quit doing feathers. We just breast them out and
skin them and move on.
Yep.
That's the best way. I can't handle that smell. And when you throw some chicken in the microwave to thaw it out, it's the same smell. And so I can't eat chicken thawed out in the microwave. I can't do it.
But that's like some people don't want to eat ramps anymore after smelling them.
Yeah, I can see that. But we don't have the pluckers and everything. We just skin them. So it's much easier and less mess and less torment to you.
Yeah. So. Well, the rabbits are easy to clean too.
Very.
Yeah.
Very. And the only part that gets harder the older they get is the actual cervical dislocation. Yeah.
Everything She's using else, fancy terminology.
Trying to avoid, yeah. I'm trying not to get our channel flagged.
It's been a while since I've heard somebody use that term.
Yeah, that's why I said earlier, just give me a broomstick, we're good. Because it's the same thing. It's you yank up and you're good.
You're digging a hole.
It don't take much.
But the older the rabbit is, the harder you have to pull.
Unfortunately, that's the kind of conversations we got to have about stuff, because if
It
you don't
is.
tell
It is.
somebody when they get ready to be, okay, I'm going to eat these rabbits, now what do I do?
Yep. We have had people very carefully, Stacy. You and I can get together. I gotta
Cut it up about like chicken.
yeah. You separate it at the joints and all that stuff. And Mark and I'll get with you on that.
Yeah.
But what was I about to say?
No licky, okay?
Oh, whenever we sell rabbits and I know that that's their purpose, is that they're wanting to breed for meat, the first thing I ask them is, are you going to be able to do that to cute little Fluffy? 9 times out of 10, they come back and say, no, couldn't do it. They think they can, but they really can't. Because it's cute little fluffies.
It's one thing to raise livestock. When it comes time to get your money out of them, it's
Yeah. And then once you've petted them up and fed them and played with them and named them, and it's impossible at that point. So
I've named some of my steaks before.
Same. Misty has the pig. We had one that was named Pork Chop and one was named Bacon. I had an Oreo. Yeah.
Yeah, we would name some of our steers after certain cuts.
Yep. That's what you got to do. Yeah, delicious little Fluffy.
Wendell has a question.
The white spot on chicken poop. More chicken poop.
Yeah, Delmonico is one of my favorite ones.
Oh,
yeah.
Boy.
Yep. That's all the names that we have. It's usually reminiscent of what they're going to become. My does get names. My does do. But their litters do not.
Ground beef.
I don't think people knew we was going to get that in depth tonight.
No. Well, and I'm not even supposed to be talking about all that. I'm supposed to be talking about how to keep it simple raising chickens.
We went from raising them to figure out how to eat them.
Yeah. And all the different things they can make. Tenders and chicken breasts and chicken legs. And like I said, you can take a half of a Cornish cross. Once you've deboned the breast, you can just leave the thigh and the wing and the drumstick all with the bone in it, stuff them all down in that jar, put a little seasoning in there. You don't even have to put any liquid on it, and just put it in your pressure canner.
Yeah.
Half
chicken
of one
is probably
fills
the
a
most
quart
eaten
jar.
bird, probably the most eaten animal in the U.S.
Yeah.
Yep.
Chicken Chesapeake's my personal favorite as far as chicken dishes.
Over in Clay County, the county.
Mine's are just stir fries. Any sort of stir fry.
Well, I also like teriyaki chicken too. So
yeah. Over in Clay County, what?
I was just gonna say, over in Clay County, they're stacking chicken houses everywhere. I mean, brand new ones everywhere. Plant.
There's a lot of them on the eastern shore, and then you get into Delaware. There's a lot of chicken houses, all down through there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they said they're bringing another chicken plant back to Clay County. There's already one over there, but I heard they're fixing to build another one. And I guess, I mean, everywhere you look, there's chicken houses coming up. Which that county has always been a big cow chicken county because it's real hilly. And they're building them over left and right, boy.
Yeah, there seem to be a few more of them popping up over in Pennsylvania right across the line too.
Yeah,
there's it amazed me the last few times I've been over that way. I went to visit Mr. Terry one time, and I was looking everywhere, and there was chicken houses everywhere. I said, man. And then me and Rebecca went over. When was it?
This past weekend.
Yeah, that's right. We made a ride through over there, and some more being put up. I said, man. I said, they chicken houses going everywhere over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were going to go find that thrift store that's closed on a Saturday.
Yeah, that's it.
A thrift store closed, only open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4.
Yeah, one time we were camping in Delaware and stopped at we had a friend that his the brother-in-law was working for a guy down there in Delaware that had just put up a bunch of brand new houses, and they had a whole load of them out there getting ready to truck them off.
Yeah.
And they had the big fans and the misters spraying them to make sure that they didn't get overheated on their way down the road.
Yep.
Right. I get behind them all the time in the mornings coming home from work. Maybe truck after truck, and they heading toward Clay County with them. And
it still makes me laugh watching them go down the road. I'm like, how many people are losing their minds watching all these damn birds going to
Shoot, I come home one morning, and there was chickens all in the highway. They lost some of those.
Oh, I remember you telling me that.
Yeah, there was chickens everywhere running around. You know,
I bet you there were some people picking up free chickens.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. I don't know how many.
Did they go back and gather them up, or what do you think they did?
Well, when I came back through that night, they wasn't no them boxes they put them in wasn't out there. So I don't know if the people around there went to catching them or what. I mean, there wasn't nothing that when I come through that night later on, there we go. There wasn't none of that there. So I imagine something went on, or the law may have got called. I mean, I don't know. But,
yeah, I was just looking at that.
That is true. That is true.
And that was in Tal's book too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't that what happened to him?
That's how he got
really chicken house.
Yeah, that's how he really got started. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where was it? Somebody asked for prayer just then. Where did I see that at? Well, I thought I did. Maybe
I didn't see it.
Okay, maybe I was dreaming.
But I am going to say this.
Okay.
All right, everybody. Y'all make sure you get your prayer requests in because it's almost 9:00.
Yeah, it's about 9.
I think River's doing better, so he's recovering from his busted ribs falling down the stairs at his house trying to carry too much stuff at one time.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah.
So he had a klutz.
Yeah, he had a klutz incident.
And who was the other person that had the hip replacement?
What now was it?
No.
Has Al had that yet?
I don't know. I had to ask Greg.
I texted Greg this evening.
One of our chat people. And
Roger did.
No, it's another one. I saw it.
I thought somebody had knee replacement.
Was it knee replacement?
Yeah, I think that was Mr. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Lord, it's on the tip of my tongue.
Whoever that is, we need to keep them in our prayers.
Yeah, I got it wrote on here.
While they recover from knee surgery. Because when I said, did you know? You said you didn't know.
Okay, I'm sorry. I wasn't following you. Because you said hip replacement.
I didn't say today, babe. I said when I found it on Facebook.
Yeah, and I got...
But I don't remember who it was. It was one of our...
Directors. It's on the tip of my tongue. What, Mr. Craig, was it?
Yes.
That was it. Okay. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I was looking back to see if I could see it in here.
Yeah. It's Mr. Craig.
Craig Schultz.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. He did have that done.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Dee Dee had knee replacement.
Yep, Dee Dee had knee replacement.
Roger's hip replacement, and Big Al's going to have a hip replacement. And
yeah, we got a lot going on in the YouTube family. There's a lot going on. And
Verby said Al's had his hip replacement put off again.
Okay. Yeah, I texted Greg today, but I figured Greg was busy to find out.
And did Patrick have a recent foot surgery?
Yeah, he broke his foot deer hunting.
Again?
No, not again.
He's got they took the boot off. Now he's got a walking boot on, I think.
Okay. So it's not another surgery.
Yeah, he's doing a lot better. I talked to him today.
I talked to him today. He was going to buy a lawnmower.
Yeah, he's supposed to come visit.
Oh, he's doing better. Yeah. Going to buy a lawnmower. He's doing better.
Miss CD had a tooth.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, they were the doctors were giving him hell because he was walking around on his non-walking cast. So
Mm.
I wouldn't know anything about doing stuff like that. Nothing at all.
Hey, Miss Lanita, good to see you.
I was shifting
Hey,
gears when I shouldn't have
Miss
been.
Dunn, good to see you.
I've been guilty of doing the same thing.
Yep. Yep.
Well, just a lot going on lately, man. I tell
They
you.
told me, they put me in a walking boot, told me to stay off it as much as I could. And the only
That's
way
like
they
when
could
I
get
broke
me to
my toe
stay off
last
of it.
year.
Yeah, the only way I could stay off of it was if they put me in the cast. So they
Yeah.
put me in the cast. And after 2 weeks of the cast, I begged them to take that thing off. I said, if you will take it off, I will stay on my behind.
Yeah, Rebecca had a time with that for a little while.
Yeah, that was
That was
what,
interesting.
17?
Yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah, I was in a boot for 6 weeks, and then the cast for 2, and then pretty much nothing for 4 more weeks, and then the
Had
boot
you broke
again
the
for 6
foot?
weeks.
Is that what happened?
Huh?
You broke your foot?
It's a stress fracture. It's more of a twist. And it still bothers me.
I think that's what Spencer's got going on
Yeah.
right now. Is,
Oh boy, what did he do?
he done it here a while
Landed
back.
funny, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, something.
Wow.
Yeah. And his pain's in the same place I deal with.
You ever get
Mine,
that plantar fasciitis? Because I get that stuff in my.
I don't get that. Mine is, so picture your foot. Mine is
Yeah.
right here around
Okay.
these two, but
Yeah.
it's more on the top of that joint.
All right.
And that's where mine is. And it's like they did this to my foot versus this. It's a torsion. So, and I think they usually call it a runner's fracture.
Yeah.
And I was running up and down stairs in an apartment complex when I shouldn't have been because the elevator was broke. So,
Yes.
yeah, I was taking 3 flights of stairs 50 times a day.
Y'all,
Yeah.
y'all get her to tell you about the bee.
Yeah.
Go ahead and tell.
Did you have a bee encounter on the stairwell?
Sort of. So before I left the apartment complex, we got bees and we put them at the back of his uncle's property. Well, my first time going and working the bees was fine. Nothing happened. The second time I went and worked the bees, I had about 5 of them sting me. And I just left the hive sitting on the ground and I left the property and everything. I got back to the apartment complex going up the elevator and I was stripping in the elevator because one had rode home in my blue jeans with me.
Oh, Lord.
It was wearing her out, buddy.
Yep. I was like, I feel like I still got a bee. Damn, I do. Yeah. The next day I went and put everything back together. Everything was all good. The bees were calm that time, but yeah.
There was a little eel that day
Yeah.
for some reason. I don't know.
I had a close call like that. I didn't get
coming.
stung, but remember those big old horse hornets?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And when I still lived at mom and dad's, I was laying in bed one night and I reached over for the TV remote and brushed something. And I was like, what the hell is that? And I kind of looked over as I moved the blanket, and that thing was sitting there, and I jumped up and tried to throw whatever I could find at the damn thing. I think I killed it with the television remote.
When Ella was a baby, I was sitting in my recliner in this house that we lived in, and I kind of had the same situation. Something was crawling on me, I thought, and I brushed it, and it was one of them big hornets, and it bit the tip of my finger.
Ooh.
And I ended up at the ER later that night. Felt like I was having a heart attack from just one little tiny bite on the tip of my finger. Thank God it bit me and not her, though.
Yeah, one of my family friends, guy I went to high school with, they had brought a bunch of stuff back from long story, but his sister-in-law ended up dying and they all moved back from the Carolinas. She died of anaphylaxis.
Yeah.
And when they came home, they had brought a bunch of stuff back, like lawnmowers and stuff. Well, somehow the Tractor Supply.
It's for Wendell.
Yeah.
Somehow when they brought everything home, some Black Widows had hitched a ride in the lawnmower.
Oh no.
And one of his boys ended up getting bit by the damn thing and had to go to the hospital and all, because they didn't know what it was until they looked at where he was and saw the whole nest of Black Widows that were in there.
Jeez.
We see them up here once in a while, but not very often. But that they said they left that lawnmower sit there for a while till they were able to deal with the nest.
Yep.
Oh, it's Miss Lanita's birthday tomorrow?
Yep.
Happy birthday, Miss Lanita. Happy birthday.
Yeah, Black Widows are nasty.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. And when I used to work out here at a plant in between the quarry and Honda before I went to Honda, that place was eat up with the Black Widows, and I don't know why, but that place was eat up. You had to watch what you were doing out there, because you might go get a part and there'd be Black Widows on it. They sprayed and done all kind of stuff. But
pretty much all we have is wolf spiders around here. That's
come on, move to the south.
And they're just big and scary looking.
Yeah, come on and move to the south.
The rough ones is when you're coon hunting and walking through the woods at night, and you get one on your face that's about big as your hand. You're talking about sidestepping and about killing yourself.
We had some of them. We have some of them orb weavers that I've walked into a few.
Yeah, that's
like
those are about
huge.
half size big as your hand. You know, about screw you half to death. About kill yourself trying to get away from it. You know.
It's like
That's
city
my
rat.
two things: spiders and snakes. Yeah. I don't do spiders or snakes.
I don't like rats either.
And I don't do praying mantis.
Oh my!
You get praying mantis now; it gets interesting.
I've got a friend.
I've had to go to
friend
the door.
is terrified of those things because he got bit by one as a kid.
There is
now he sees one.
When you're a kid and you're out there with one of them things. I was walking from our house to the junkyard, and there was one I met face to face right here. I swear it was the size of my face. Of course, I was this big around and 9 probably. So
I still play with them to this day. I'll let them walk on me. It don't bother me at all.
Nope. We had at my trailer in Tallapoosa, there was one that had got in the house, and it was the same size as the DVD case. No joke. It was that long, the size of a DVD case. And people go, why are you scared of them things? They're huge and they fly.
Well, the funniest thing I ever heard was my ex-father-in-law told me this story. His parents had got a Christmas tree one winter, and there must have been a couple of nests or something in that tree.
A dead kind, PJ.
Well, they took that tree in the house, and everything warmed up. And next thing you know, they were hatching inside the house during Christmas. So they had all of these praying mantises in the house. They were vacuum up with the vacuum cleaner.
Ooh.
No.
Shop vac and everything.
I will say I kind of had a similar experience, but not in my house, thank God. I pulled the cover off my motorcycle, and it was covered in praying mantis babies. Outside, thank God. I was just glad that I did not find him while I was riding said motorcycle. That would have been
every
bad.
summer when I'm out there around the bale wraps, undoing the stuff, or out on the silage trenches, they're everywhere.
I can't stand them.
I'd rather stick my hand in there and end up finding a praying mantis than one of them damn wolf spiders.
The wolf spiders are awful too. So are the brown recluse, and I don't know what that kind of spider is that carries its babies on the back, but that sucker's evil looking.
Oh, yeah. They get big enough in the silage trench. Sometimes we'll sit there and pluck them with some bird shot. Just
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know what it is, but it's a dead one. It's a dead one. That's what it is.
That's the one when you go to kill it, all the other ones just explode off the back of it. Yeah.
I am now going to have nightmares for the rest of the night. I'm sorry. Because I just pictured when you said it's bad when you kill the one. I saw it in my head. They go.
Yeah, she'll have
I
them.
turned into the exterminator from arachnophobia.
Jeez. I do have night terrors, and it's so funny. I'll be laying there and I'll swear I'm awake, and I'll be watching the spider just dropping from the ceiling, and or it's crawling on Mark's pillow, or yeah. But I'm awake.
It just reminds me of that exterminator from arachnophobia when he's time to break out the private stash.
No.
Yeah. Hey, I've made a homemade flamethrower to remove some of them.
Hairspray and a lighter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I cornered one in the dairy in the wash tank one time, and it wasn't giving up without a fight. And I got the propane torch out.
Me too, Mr. Allen. Me too. I was good before the spider talk.
Miss Burby got bit by a recluse.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I've known several people. I'd rather deal with handling black snakes in my neighbor's basement than having to root out a bunch of spiders. Because
Yep. There you go. There you go. There's the answer. That's the answer. All right. Let's do these prayer requests and get off here because I feel a blizzard coming.
Yeah, I gotta go milk. I gotta milk in the morning. I'm gonna steal some ice cream out of the market after I get off here.
I'm gonna have to go get some. So
yeah,
it's not good for the pocketbook with our supply chain with the ice cream being in my yard. It's not.
No, I'm sure it's not good for that supply chain or your pocketbook.
No.
It kind of cuts into what you bring in because it's not there to go out.
Yeah, I know my mom's probably watching the security camera. Damn it, he's in the freezer again.
Well, when we come to visit, we're going to have to try out that.
I know. They've got all sorts of different flavors. Our friends that make it, they do all sorts of different stuff.
Yeah. We'll have to try it. Plus that cheese and stuff too. Looking forward.
I'll send some home with you.
Just put the cow in the back too.
You'll get some free labor for a couple of days right there.
And like I said, just load the cow up. I'll bring it home. It'll be all right.
You're gonna have to, Mark. You're gonna have to get one of those half trailer, half campers so you can put your livestock in the back.
It's suburban. Have you not seen those videos?
A lot of these people getting in the homestead world, they're going and picking up cows and goats. And you'll look now at beef women going down the road, and there'll be a goat sitting behind them or a cow, sitting up in there.
If I still had my little red minivan, the number of cows I could put in the back of it.
Yeah, that's true.
You need one of them Sprinter vans. That's
there you go.
Just put a ramp on the back of it.
Go on.
Reminds me of loading calves in the back of the old hauler's pickup when he'd take them to the sale. He got old enough he couldn't drive the cattle truck anymore, so he'd haul calves in his pickup and a little trailer, and that thing would just be full of calves going to the sale.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
There's all kind of stuff you see.
He's almost 90. You'd have to help him load them in the bed so someone would unload them when he'd get there, but he still hauled them.
That's it. That's true.
I could put a couple in the back seat.
I've rode around the goat in my truck and a few calves.
All right.
Prayer requests.
Okay.
Yep.
Let's wrap her up.
Y'all remember Mr. Patrick Noble? He's doing better. He's healing up. Nate Bolin. I ain't heard about Nate Bolin lately. I need to check on that. Mr. Gary Spikes. I know Gary's probably feeling a lot better.
Give me a pen.
Miss CD. Greg House. Miss Cynthia Johns. Phyllis. Mark D. Miss Lanita. Let's see, Michael X's nephew. I heard Steven's doing a lot better. He went to LBL with him last week, so he's doing a little better. Y'all get Mr. Barton Nunley and Letitia in y'all's prayers right now. Mr. Barton's been having some trouble.
So has she.
And so has she, and they've been having a lot going on. So y'all really put them in prayer. They got a lot going on and everything. Hey, Miss Jean, good to see you. Mr. Terry and Carolyn. Nancy and Wendell. David Hughes, his mom and dad. I hadn't talked to David this week. I'll try to check in on him. Crystal J. Hillary's daughter, Mr. Donald. Y'all keep PJ in prayer. She's having some ear trouble. Mr. Craig Schultz. Michelle Powell's father and her two best friends that have cancer. Ken's in here now, and I think he said his eyes were healing up good, so we're proud to hear that. Y'all keep paying for Roger. I think he's getting a little better. Debbie, Miss Judy Wheeler, Kathy and David.
Yeah, they both have pretty much pneumonia almost at this point.
Yeah, they both
started from COVID. And they're both they're both still under the weather.
And Catherine Swain. Let's say Swain. Max Swain. I'm sorry. I don't know. Y'all keep Cryptid Crystal in your prayer on her shoulder. Deb Bryan. Miss said, Greg's mom. River. Tammy Johnson's nephew's wife, Chrissy. Steve Travis. Chris Reinhardt doing a lot better now. So Lisa and her husband. I hadn't talked to Superfly in about a week, but they had their baby, him and Camille. They had a baby boy. Leanne Smith and her husband, JD. Y'all pray for Heather, which is Morgan's daughter. She's on hospice, has a brain tumor, and she has 3 kids. So y'all really be in prayer. That's sad, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Also, Miss Jean Morris's granddaughter's dog. Joan, excuse me, I don't know why I said Jean for. And DD's knee replacement. So, if y'all know of anybody else, or if I left somebody off, or I didn't do it on accident, but y'all just let me know, and we'll say a short prayer and we'll get off here. I know Jeff's probably ready to go eat.
Yeah, he's looking for ice cream.
He's looking for ice cream, and Rebecca, I guess, going to be looking for ice cream too.
Yeah, I already have my supper. I'm looking for ice cream now.
Well, I hear you. I wish I could get some, but I'm a little scared to eat anything right now. So,
oh, and I wanted to add one thing. Joey's been doing great since that tractor accident.
Good.
I've been out to dinner with him a couple times, and you couldn't even tell anything happened to him.
Okay. Well, I'm glad he's doing better, and I'm glad you're doing better too, Kathy.
Right there under your hand.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Big Al, which I missed, Burton said a while ago, they put his hip replacement off. So
He's living with the pain though, so keep him in your prayers.
Yeah, keep him in prayer. And I hope I didn't forget somebody tonight, but if I did, I didn't.
Shade's dad is hanging in there.
Okay, that's good.
My coworker's dad is hanging in there.
That's good.
I thought he was transitioning. She thought he was transitioning, and he's hanging in there. So,
Hey, Chad. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. We'll do a short prayer, and y'all keep me and Rebecca in your prayers too. We're just busy, and she fights with these migraines, and somehow this evening I got stirred up with a stomach bug or something. So that's why I'm here tonight. I was supposed to be at work, and I did not want to go to work and get in bad shape, so I just decided to stay at home. So I took me some emergency PTO tonight just to keep from getting in a mess.
I had that mess the other weekend, and I'm glad we had help at the barn because, whew.
Yeah, it hit me a little strong this evening, so I don't know. And stomach's still kind of raring a little bit, so I don't know. But yeah, acute pain is hard on a person. Yeah, it stresses you out, wears you out. So we'll say a little prayer and we'll get off here, and where Rebecca can go get her fetish of ice cream, and where
he can go rob the
Jeff
market.
can go rob some ice cream. Don't get shot getting ice cream now.
I can't shoot it myself.
Well, that's good. Your dad might say, "Who's out there?"
Well, Dad lives up there, so he don't even look at the security camera. That's not his department.
Yeah. All right. Lord, thank you for everything you do for us each and every day. Thank you for loving us and being merciful to us and always wanting the best for us. Thank you, Lord, for your son and everything he done for us and coming to this earth and going through what he went through to give us a way back to you, Lord. Lord, thank you for the Holy Spirit, for the counseling and the conviction of sin. And Lord, be with all these names that's been called out on this list and unspoken prayers, unspoken requests, there we go, that haven't been spoken. You know all what people need, Lord, and we ask this in all in your holy, precious name. Amen. Y'all, sorry about that. I got goofed up a minute, but I ain't thinking real straight tonight, so which I usually don't do it. So.
3 Klondike bars, good Lord.
Mercy. They've done got ice cream at work in the freezers at work. You talking about having to stay away from that area.
And my grandfather used to keep them York peppermint patties in the freezer all the time.
Them and the Thin Mint Girl Scout cookies.
Every time I go to my grandfather's house, York peppermint patties in the freezer.
They are awesome frozen.
Yeah. Well, they're at work. They put a freezer in our little break room, and they got the Snickers ice cream, the Butterfinger ice cream, and they got the little buckets of
the Butterfingers,
Ben and Jerry, and so, and you see people going in there every few minutes getting one out. That thing's about empty every night.
Fancy ice cream in there.
Yeah, they putting that expensive stuff in there.
Well, they're not putting Bluebell in there. The plant's right down the road.
Well, I don't understand that myself, but the company that does all the vending for Honda is out of Ohio, so I guess that's where it's coming from. I'm assuming so. That's where it's all coming from.
Those were when they were good.
Yeah, you're going to have to go get you some, ain't you?
I like Moose Tracks, Rocky Road, all the...
Moose Tracks is good.
Yeah. Peanut butter ice cream is where it's at.
No peanut butter in my ice cream.
Oh, man. Well, y'all... There was some good shows on this week. Y'all go check everybody out. I know Roger and Jerry and Jeff had a good guest on the other night. And Spencer and them had one last Sunday, Miss Lisa and Miss B. I think she's got a show tomorrow night. And Miss Dunn had Daryl on this past week. So,
and I think we've got a UFO show on Tuesday.
Hey, that'd be good. That'd be something different to talk about. Yeah.
Yep, David's been talking to a UFO guest, so we'll see. That sounds like
Yeah.
fun.
Well, that's
Mhm.
cool. That's cool.
And Roger had a great show last night with Ernie, and so did Mary
Mhm.
on Wednesday.
Yeah, I watched a good bit of it this morning, and
We had a good one Tuesday, but someone couldn't stay awake, so I had to go hibernate.
yeah. On them nights they need to change your nickname to Sleepy.
I know. I
Yeah,
tell
how's it
you,
work?
that night, this headache hit me, and I was like checking out. I just couldn't
Yeah.
keep going.
Well,
Maybe it was the fact I had to fix 2 waterers 2 nights in a row right
Right.
before I was getting ready to leave the barn.
and that's the way it usually goes when you got something to do. That's when everything on the farm starts
Yep.
tearing up. So, Well, Jeff, we appreciate you being on with us tonight. We appreciate everybody being in the chat, staying
I
with
enjoy
us.
being here. And when you're ready to start talking about cows and fencing, Becca, we'll do a whole show on how to make sure your cows don't get out of your fence.
Oh, is there a way to actually do that?
Well, as long as nothing falls on the fence or a deer doesn't run through it or your fencer decides to magically explode overnight,
Right.
which we've been dealing with here the last couple of weeks. We had a few electrical issues in that one building where the one fencer was.
But you'll have to tell her about your cattle disappearing for a few days and all what went on with that when
Oh my God.
That'll be a good one. That'll be a good one.
That was an ordeal.
Yeah, that was something else. I would have been irritable after that little episode
I
myself.
want to say I've heard this.
I told you a little bit about it, I think.
I
There might have been some
way.
legal issues too.
Yeah, there's some different things happening there.
Oh yeah, it was you telling me about
Yeah,
it.
I told you a little bit about it. So.
It was you telling me. Okay. Yeah.
That's why I don't like people letting their dogs run loose all the time, which has been happening a lot around here.
Yeah.
And something was harassing them. I'm pretty sure that's what it was, and they harassed them so bad that they took that heifer fence out, and which they never act weird. Like normally, if they get out, you'll find them around the barn somewhere.
Yeah.
Deer are one of the worst things you can have to deal with if you got a fence near the woods. Yeah, scary. I know.
I'm gonna tell you, I've seen some well-built fences, and I've seen bulls just jump it like it wasn't nothing there.
And if you're running good electric, you don't need all these like 6-strand high tensile wires and all this crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Just need it in the right place.
Yeah, it's just got to be in the right place.
That's it. Yeah. Oh yeah, you get some of them, buddy. They'll learn to stay away from that stuff. Ain't no doubt about it.
So. Oh, it's the most entertaining thing in the world watching them figure out what that wire does.
Yeah, that's it. It's funny sometimes when they put that nose on it, buddy. Whoo, mercy. The world just comes apart right there for a few
Sounds like
minutes.
somebody fired a 22 off in the pasture with their nose.
All right, y'all. Well, we enjoyed everybody being here tonight and talking chickens and a little bit of everything. And
we'll do a cow show soon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. She's got to do that, and she's got to get Spencer on about cooking, and anybody else that wants to come in and talk about different things, So I know she's been waiting on Misty too to come on about
Deadgum goat.
Yeah.
I was talking to her about that the other day. She's convinced that thing aborted or something.
It's possible at this point.
Yeah, something weird about that.
That's why I hadn't got her on, because we've been waiting on the babies to be born.
Yeah.
Goats are weird. I had one and had kids with it one time, and it just, you didn't know when those things were going to drop. I'm good at watching and telling when cows are going to drop, but that goat,
I've heard all these goat groups I'm in. I bet you I could identify every part of a goat on the back end and not know nothing about the front end at this point.
People keep wanting me to adopt their goats, and I'm like, I got one goat right now, and I'm not getting any more until something happens to this one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then I might not even then. Maybe I'll get some pigs or something.
Right?
Right. I know what you mean. All right, y'all. We love y'all. Y'all have a good weekend, and we'll see y'all next week if nothing don't happen. And if you have any body wants to talk with me about boogers or that type stuff, get in touch with me.
That, Miss Jean.
Oh, that was what I was going to tell you. I'm actually going to be camping with Mary Fabian next month.
Okay, cool.
In Gettysburg, well, right above Gettysburg, and I think Crystal and Bud and Angie and some other people are going to be there. So.
Wish I could do that.
If it wasn't so far, we'd try to make it, but that's going to be a haul.
And our guest Todd from Tuesday, he's going to be there with Mary. So
okay, y'all have a good time.
Nice. Yep.
Some of y'all need to video some of it and show it to us.
Yep.
Yep.
Everything if you can. I know how it is, but
I know most of y'all aren't on the East Coast.
We're on the East Coast-ish.
Yeah, East Coast.
We're more Gulf.
Yeah, we're more Gulf.
Yeah, we're more Gulf.
Yeah.
But we're coming. If the good Lord willing,
if
everything goes well. So.
All right. One
Keep
last
trying
time.
to talk Noble into coming.
Huh?
Keep trying to talk Pat into coming up.
Absolutely.
Once he moves back to West Virginia, he ain't gonna be far from me. So.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right.
Looking forward.
We love y'all, and y'all have a good night, and we'll see y'all next week. If nothing don't happen.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.